Hold on to your goggles. It's time for the Epic Engagement Adventure.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Epic Engagement Adventure. My name is RJ Redden. I am your host, and I get to sit virtually, but I get to sit beside a virtual event strategist today. His name is Liam Austin. We met long ago on some networking thing. I have absolutely no memory, except that I have no memory of our meeting, but I do know this guy. He's wonderful at virtual events, getting engagement in virtual events. How many times have you been to one and you've just put it up in your sidebar and went about your day? If you don't want that kind of virtual event, this is the human to ask. Liam, how are you today?
I'm great. Excited to be, talking with you and sharing a little bit about my experience in, virtual events and getting more engagement.
Beautiful. Well, so tell us, we know virtual event strategy. What got you into that? What made you interested in helping people with their virtual events?
Well, being an Australian, being so far away from all the big events happening in the US, Europe, we get some big events when it comes to music and concerts because your summers are kind of very similar, Europe and the US, whereas Australia, our summer is the opposite. So we get some of the big bands, some of the big names to come across because we've got some big festivals and they want to spend some time in the beautiful country. But when it comes to business types of events or other types of events, consumer health events, there's not a lot that venture out to Australia, or it's not the number one priority. It's like a small country where 25 million people, I think. And so essentially, I started my first virtual event in 2015 just to get access to the expertise around the world, which, as we all know now, virtually is such a simple, quick way, low-cost way to connect with people. Especially those hard to reach people. We can easily fill a room with 1,000 people or 30,000 people without having to hire a big hall or a big stadium to share our message. So 2015 was the year we ran our first event, and it was due to really just being an Aussie, being so far away from all the information, all the expertise out there in the world.
Yeah. Well, and I can imagine that 2020 probably changed just about everything for you. And so how did that change your business, the pandemic?
Yeah, for sure. So when 2020 rolled around, we'd been running this for 4 or 5 years now. We'd been running our own events. Typically, the events we're running are summits, workshops, challenges, seminars, boot camps, and people just started reaching out to us. It was around 2018 was the first time we decided to lift the hood on how we were actually doing these events, how we were getting 10,000 people, even 20,000 people. One event that we ran in 2016 had 20,000 people register, so 20,000 leads coming into our business. How are you doing this? How are you getting so much visibility? How are you reaching so many people? How are you adding so many prospects to your database? How are you selling tickets to this thing and making tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars from these virtual online events that cost zero really to set up and run? So we've been getting, because we'd built our email list to over 100,000 in the space of 18 months doing these types of virtual events, people just naturally started reaching out to us, asking us, well, this was awesome. It was cool. I got so much from it. I can see you're getting a lot of benefit from it. How do I run one of these things myself? So We said, no, we just want to bring in the expertise and have other experts share the expertise versus us sharing our own regarding these events. But 2018, we finally got convinced. 3 years later, we lifted the hood, we opened the kind of book and shared what we were doing with this. And then by 2020, when that rolled around, it just left us in a really great space to help people who are transitioning from doing in-person events to transition online, as well as people realizing, hey, like I'm doing online events, but now more and more people are used to these virtual events. More and more people are open to attending these events because there's no other choice, right? And now post that era, people are used to this now. Everyone knows how to use Zoom. Our very first event that we ran in 2015 was using Zoom. I've tested plenty of different technology, but it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be simple, as I said, low cost, and you can get thousands of people to your event, getting to know you, like you, and trust you. And I think that is what the most important thing comes from these virtual events. And yes, being in person is, you can connect with people, build that rapport maybe a little bit better, but virtual events, don't discount the fact that, maybe what you lack with the in-person events, you can actually reach a lot more people, which around the world at a time that's convenient to them, which I think is super powerful. Being an Aussie who's now living in Europe, I live in Malta, and most of our clients are in US or Canada, at least that kind of time zone. So I'm a big fan, and I've learned a lot over the years. So yeah, I've opened the book, lifted the bonnet, and happy to share everything today.
Oh, beautiful. Share away. What are some of the biggest successes you've had in your industry? Give us a story about client engaging your people. Getting 10,000 people to come to an event. Whoa! I mean, how do you do stuff like that? So please share some magic with us.
Yeah, marketing is the key. I know a lot of people are just like, no, I just want to share my message. I just want to be on stage. And then great, leverage other people's audiences, right? You don't have to try to market this thing yourself. Maybe get someone else to market it for you, get in front of their audiences. I think that's kind of the answer there. But really marketing, like you've got to market the hell out of this thing to get the visibility you need, to get the reach you need, and you have to be smart with your copy and your tagline, your promise of what they're going to get from attending your event and actually showing up, because that's key, right? You can get lots of people to register, but actually getting them to show up and to build that rapport, to build that trust factor so that they see you as the number one choice. You want them to leave the event and just go, I want more of this person. I want more of their teaching. I want more of their systems, their programs, and I want to have a conversation with them about getting access to that. So you're booking appointments and you're enrolling clients into your programs, your services, your offers, and that's really the key. So how do we get them to show up? But in terms of a good case study and why I decided to really open the lid on all of this, we saw the results really early on with our first event. Like we had 15,000 people register for our first event. We had 500 people upgrade, paying $100. So we made $50,000 just in these low ticket offers, which was amazing. We didn't have any thing priced above $100 really at that point. There was no like mid-ticket offer, course, membership, no coaching program, no consulting, like for $10,000, $20,000. There was none of that. It was just $50,000 from $100 sales. So we're getting some great traction, getting lots of people there. People started to notice. And one of those people that noticed was someone who was in my co-working space, who was struggling, who was trying to figure out his own business because he'd been working on it for months, really. It was probably years, and he just wasn't able to get it off the ground. He was having to work as a side project, but it was his passion. He knew he needed to make a difference in the world because he was a sufferer himself. So he suffered from migraine, like really debilitating migraines. So he couldn't really hold down a proper job, if you like it was affecting his work life, his income ability, his social life. And so he knew this was a major problem that he wanted to solve, not just for himself, but for every other sufferer out there. And he'd done the research. He knew there was a lot of people, but he didn't know how to get in touch with them or reach them. And he was trying for sure. And he saw that we were getting 15,000 people to our first event. Then we got, I think, 13,000 to our second. And then we got 21,000 to our third. And he's like, all right, Liam, I need this. Like, you've been watching me sit here for, the last few months, years. And like, I need this. So what are you doing? Do you think I should be doing one? And so we talked him through it. He told me a bit about his business, and we created a plan. He launched the Migraine World Summit. That was his first event that he ran. He now runs that as an annual event. So obviously it was a big success when we launched that for him in 2016. And yeah, he's got now 100,000 people coming to his event every year, which is massive. Migraine sufferers, right, who get migraines from looking at the screen too long, but they're coming to his virtual events, right? So I think this is one of the keys that maybe I'll just point out for everyone, is that you have to have a strong enough promise, a promise of a result that will change someone's pain into, eliminating that pain and get them the result, the desired outcome that they want. And these people were suffering from migraine. They were getting headaches. It was causing major, major issues. It was a big pain point for these people. And he was able to solve that issue, or give the promise of getting the tools and the strategies and the leverage to be able to eliminate or significantly reduce those problems. So yeah, people who suffer from migraines, they get migraines from looking at the screen too long, yet they get 100,000 migraine sufferers looking at the screen, watching his event, because the promise, the draw card is so strong.
Yeah. Well, and that's, for people doing their first live event or, virtual event, live event, whichever, it's hard to come up with a promise that is, because people don't like to toot their own horn necessarily all the time. Is that something that you, that's part of your service, that you help people come up with that draw?
Yeah, seriously, it's crucial. And there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, this is a fantastic topic, like AI. I'm going to create a event on AI, and because it's a hot topic, everyone's going to love it and they're going to come. And that's the biggest mistake that we made over the years running our events, because we ran them on a few different topics, because we were gathering just experts around the world on all these different topics, but it wasn't allowing us to create or refine our niche and be known for something really specific. So we had a lot of people that were on our email list that were unsubscribing, that weren't interested and weren't able to upgrade to our other offers once we offered them, like our client coaching programs that we have to help people generate more leads, sales, get more clients online. They weren't upgrading to that because it wasn't in alignment. Like, they came in for something else. So it's a big mistake to just think that, like, okay, I know the topic, I know the actual focus of this event, like the promise, and really defining that promise. There's a strategy to it, right? There's some things that need to be done to make that the best possible attraction mechanism for your business, right? It's a massive lead magnet. It's a nurture program. Like, if you design the event correctly, so you can see that it's like, if you can attract leads and you can nurture them, what's the next step, right? They buy. The event does the attraction and it does the nurturing. The next thing is they're just ready to buy, right? They're booking appointments with you and you're just enrolling them. So the way that you design these events, like, however much time you spend on generating leads, like, this is how much time you should be focusing in on, designing your attraction mechanism for your event. And then the nurture, well, what's the actual program look like once they come into the event? Like, this is your nurture campaign, your funnel. Like, how long have you spent on building your funnels and your nurture campaigns, your sequences? Like, spend that much time on your event, because it will make a massive difference to your business and your ultimate outcome?
It makes a massive difference. It's everything. For me, it's everything, because if you spend 90% of your time pre-event, working on pieces of communication, mass communication is vital. But if you don't spend any time thinking about how you want people to feel during your event and how you're going to get there, you're almost wasting your time, because I guarantee you, people have seen landing pages before. They've seen emails before. What they want is to have a different experience while they're with you. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Liam. It just it's astounding, and most people out there just don't know that. They don't have that secret. Gosh, yeah. Well, and Migraine World would never have thought about that, but what an interesting thing that he's getting people to a screen that it's hard to see the screen. I mean, how valuable is that? Well, that is a lovely secret. I'm so glad that you've shared that one with us, because your focus these days, I find your focus these days has to be razor sharp. It just really does. And if anything doesn't serve that focus and serve how you want to make people feel and what is the experience you want them to go through, whatever doesn't serve that, I throw it out personally. But I'm smaller time than you, Liam. I have never gotten 10,000 people to an event, but yeah, so that's amazing. How much time then, when you're doing planning and stuff, because I know that a lot of people have said to me, I don't want to do a 3-day event. I work with coaches. I don't want to do a 3-day event because it takes so much time to plan that I have to sacrifice working with the clients I already have, because it's like such a ramp up experience. How have you dealt with that in the past with people who have brought that question to you?
Yeah, well, there's so many variants of events that you can run, right? So one end of the spectrum, you've got your multi-day events, those 3-day events. At the other end, you've got your 90-minute events, or even shorter, right? 30 minutes. You're even seeing VSLs out there that are 5 minutes, 12 minutes. So yes, okay, it's a VSL, it's a video, Liam, that's not really an event. But when it comes down to it, we run our events for the first time live, and then it's a massive asset that you've built that you can use the recordings for, repackage it, and sell it continuously. I was running an event over the weekend. Yeah, last weekend. And it was a 3-day event. And during the event, I got a sale from an event. The very first event that I ran back in 2015, I made a sale. And that sale, I brought up on my phone and I showed everyone, look at the power of this. I ran an event that, I spent a long time setting up, and it was an investment, but I wanted to make it right. It got a lot of value for people. It's still delivering value to people because it's still relevant for them. They still want to get that promise, right? We talked about that promise before, that result, that outcome, what they're going to walk away with at the end of the event. People still want that. It's powerful. So I'm making sales from an event I ran 7-8 years ago. Yeah, I am. And I've got plenty of these events running that I've ran for the first time over the years that are now on autopilot, generating leads, building my visibility, generating more reach, generating sales, booking appointments for my sales team, and they're enrolling as high-ticket clients, coaching clients. This is an investment. You've got to, put a bit of time and energy and effort into doing the event, doing it well, doing it right, but focusing on, what's the promise of the outcome? Is it something that is just a one-off? Is it something that's going to live out there forever and generate me passive income? But when we're, working with a client to figure all this out. Yeah, it comes down, each person is different, each business is different, each market is different. So we need to work out what it is, what is the outcomes, what is the end goal ultimately that you want to achieve.
That's amazing. I have never spoken to an event organizer, an event strategist before who talks about how to repurpose, repackage, and reuse the stuff after the event is over.
Well, just to interrupt you on that one, sorry, but like we're live now, right? This is a live event. People are going to attend live, but I'm sure you're going to use the recording, right?
Yes,
this is going to live out there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's what it's all about. It's just working smarter, not harder for a lot of these things.
Well, and I know an awful lot of coaches who they do an event pre-pandemic, but they do a 3-day event twice a year, or some of them even more frequently than that, and they were kind of always starting from scratch. What you're saying is don't make that investment work for you for years. That's pretty amazing, Liam.
Yeah, so our program, right? If you decide to kind of work with us, you come in, and the program's called Predictable Income Freedom. And the reason is that we want predictability in our life, in our business. We want income. We want predictable income, like consistent clients coming in through the door, consistent leads, traffic that's predictable, that's not, relying on the launch and the roller coaster that comes along with that. Because events like the first few years of our business was a roller coaster, right? We're launching all the time, and only if we launch would we generate traffic, leads, sales, revenue, right? You don't need to do that anymore. Like you're creating these assets. It lives out there forever. Let's leverage it consistently. So predictable income and then freedom, right? So the whole idea of predictable income gives you the freedom to go do whatever it is you want to do, the financial freedom, the time freedom, the location freedom. Like we didn't really talk about this, but I mentioned before I'm Australian, but I'm living in Europe because my partner is Swedish. And the reason we really started this business was because we wanted that freedom. We wanted location independence because we wanted to spend time in Sweden with her friends and family, as well as in Australia with my friends and family. We ended up in Malta, but that's another whole story. So the idea is just look at what's your ultimate outcome for things. For us, it's like we want to travel. We want to make money online. We want to work less and less over time. So yeah, we put in effort, energy, time, resources early on, so we could start working less and less over time. And so if that's your goal, all right, how do we design the business? How do we design the events around your ultimate outcome, right? So there's so much to this. Like this is a whole business setup that we're talking about here. It can be a lifestyle business. It can be a business that grows into a major multi-million-dollar company if you wish it to be. It's powerful. It's powerful. Like you're reaching people for every corner of the globe. We're not just narrowing into a specific location anymore. Like virtual events, yeah, it excites me. I could talk about this all day long, but yeah, happy to just answer any specific questions you might think, your audience would be interested in.
Well, I think their very next question would be, how do I get a hold of this human? How do I connect with Liam? Can you have a link, you said? Yeah.
So before I share that, if we got a bit of time, is that okay if I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? So one of the biggest kind of, my secret, one that works really well for us and our clients over the past few years is when it comes to engagement, is that promise. Absolutely. But that promise of a quick win. So a quick win is actually a result. So they come to your event to walk away with a result. It's not theory. We don't want theory. This is practical. They're implementing, they're walking away with an outcome. And we call that outcome like a quick win because In our 90-minute events, we can deliver this quick win for people. And this is what gets people super excited about you and your ability to get them results. Because everyone else they've heard out there is just been theory. It's just been, yeah, it's worked for everyone else, but I'm not sure if it'll work for me. Now they come to your 90-minute workshop, they workshop, they implement, they get the result within the 90 minutes, and they're like, I want to spend more time with you because I want more of these quick wins. That was amazing. But I want bigger wins as well. I want to make more impact. So how do we work together further? So they're booking a call and they're discussing with you, well, okay, what programs, services, how can we work together further on this? And I'll just give you an example. Like an example would be 3 referrals in 3 minutes. That would be the promise. It would be the title of the 90-minute workshop. So 3 referrals in 3 minutes. 3 minutes is quick, right? And the 3 referrals is the win, right? And it's a quick win because it's 3 referrals in 3 minutes. And it's powerful because 3 referrals as a small business owner, like if we're selling a $5,000, $10,000 package, we could sell, say, 1 of those referrals. I don't know what it is. You might think in your own business as you're listening to this, yeah, if I got 3 referrals, I'd close 1, 2, maybe even 3 of them at $10,000. So it's potentially worth $30,000 to you. So in just 90 minutes, you can get a strategy that gets you 3 referrals in just 3 minutes. And now you've got that strategy. You've got that tool that you can use in your business every single day to generate 3 leads every single day. Or if you want to scale it, don't spend 3 minutes, spend 30 minutes, and you're making now 30 referrals every single day. So a super powerful strategy that we can teach people in one of our workshops. We give them this quick win, right? It's powerful, big impact, quick win. That's how we create, I think, the most amazing show up rates, engagement where people are actually taking action and they're getting the results as well. So saying all of that, I've got a whole checklist that will teach you how to get one of these quick workshop wins set up for yourself and your own business. It's really quick, actually. It's just like you can get it launched in 7 days. Creating the content will take you only a couple of hours. Delivering it takes 90 minutes. So you spend the remaining like 6.5 days marketing this thing, right? Getting visibility. And we share a bit of that as well in that checklist. So the checklist, you can go grab it at quickworkshopwin.com. quickworkshopwin.com. It's a free checklist. You can download it. And if you decide, you can actually get our workshop on workshops. It's a paid upgrade. I think it might be $100, but it might be a special discount, I think, for your audience. So go and check that out. quickworkshopwin.com. Enter in your details like name, email address to get that checklist delivered to you. And then, there's the opportunity to go even deeper with the strategies on this with a whole workshop on how to create these quick win workshops for yourself.
See, there it is. I mean, that's amazing. I will be downloading it myself, Liam. Just know that's happening. I do workshops all the time, and to be able to sharpen that skill, to be able to reach more people. I don't need 1 billion followers. I don't need mass numbers. But if there's anything that can help me sharpen my message as a business owner and get to more people, I'm automatically interested. And I just want to thank you on behalf of the audience for that gift, because what do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. Quick workshop win. Go grab it, everybody, because it's worth your time. It's worth your time. Maybe you've been doing workshops forever, but maybe there'll be one thing that allows you to really sharpen up. I know that I have heard a bunch of gems on this podcast. Well, I mean, Liam's here, so completely that's the conclusion I would draw anyway. Do you have any final kind of words of wisdom for anybody out there thinking about putting on a live virtual event?
Yeah, I think if you can deliver a quick win, like a result for people, you'll be amazed. Like the amount of people that want more quick wins from you, right? Like if you can have just even 6 or a dozen people on your workshop, you're able to get them all that quick win, that result, they're going to want more results just like that, right? So those 6, 12 people are going to be, asking you, like, how do I take this next step? How do we spend more time together? So, because I've got big plans, I need to accomplish a lot of things in my world. So you don't need a big audience. You just need the right promise. Like 3 referrals in 3 minutes is a great example of an event that we've run that works really well. And you deliver, make sure people get that result. They can see that you care about getting them a result, and you can actually deliver on your promise. Well, I was able to get this quick win. Yeah, of course I want more of it. I don't want it to end here, just 90 minutes together. No, I want to spend 3 days, 3 months, like 3 years with you, because I've got such big plans ahead of me. So I just suggest that you go out there and you just get started, start running your first event in the next 7 days. If only 1, 2, 3 people who show up or register for it, awesome, great. Practice with them, run it again the next week. You can run this thing every single week, record it. Once it's working really well, continue selling it on autopilot forever and generate passive income, get leads coming in, the traffic coming in, but also appointments being booked for people wanting to work with you further. And I think that's the biggest message from this. Go out there and just get your first few people into your quick workshop win.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for, coming on. I know it's late at night for you. I know I'm your last stop of the day, and you saved some energy for us today. We are so grateful. This, I will have you on again, Liam, because I can't hear enough stories about how you are helping your clients touch people's hearts with these workshops and with these live events. Awesome stuff, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no worries. This has been great. The questions have been great. I've been sharing like a lot, and I think that's to do with you asking the right things. And this has been great. And thanks for allowing me to share all of this.
Beautiful. I will say goodbye to our audience. Audience, you're the best, and you know that you are. Again, hit that link up. It's absolutely worth it to sharpen those skills. Virtual events are where it's at these days, my friends. So get that going, and I will see you here, same bot time, same bot channel next week on the episode.